My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravaged country and have survived 2 deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Cess, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Star coming, star bum. Star bum. Alexander coming, star bum. His body explode.
The little Zalo, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader.
The oldest republic in Africa. And yet, we're one of the least developed countries on the continent, and indeed one of the least developed countries in the world. And I say to you, my fellow Liberians, we deserve a better Liberia. We need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Why are we where we are? Most Liberian homes don't have electricity. Most Liberian homes don't have running water. Most Liberians are unemployed. These are things we can change. These are things we should demand of ourselves and of our leaders. We, as Liberians, cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders with the same kinds of experiences and expect Liberia to change. We have to do many things differently, and that starts with selecting and electing new leaders who know how to create jobs, who know how to grow the economy, who will prioritize the Liberian people first before they prioritize themselves. And this is what I offer you, the Liberian people. The other universal truth that I want to share with you, my fellow Liberians, is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And again, I ask you to look at my record of job creation, of success, of managing large budgets without one penny going missing. All of these things you can look at and compare to the other candidates. And again, you will see that my past performance and past behavior is a good predictor, a good indicator that what I commit to, we will deliver. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. Our next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay? So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government, because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the hows. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates expiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
Chicken they grow for day.
Okay, thank you for tuning in. Please share the video and okay, thanks for tuning in. Share the video. And I also got a new page called The Political General. I will appreciate if you can just like it. So I'm trying to promote that page to use it only for politics. Yeah, it's not an easy thing. I was trying to get it over. I got my Facebook, my personal page is failed, and I can't accept friendship. But on the page that I created, I register it like a business, and just to only politics. So if you can go there and share the video and like it, I will appreciate it. Okay, like this thing. I'm not going to take too long. You've been watching Spoon lately. I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to Mariah. Men always feel insecure whenever they come across smart woman. When they try to bully and the woman cannot be moved, or the woman nothing can shake her, then the next thing they get scared. But I just want to send this message to the other guy on Spoon. Listen, Liberians, we're not going to sit and allow anyone to play these so-called elite games or Congo games or country game. Do you believe that Kef Hassan were calling Mariah elite like a Congo game? But let me say this. Mariah grew up in Lookington. I grew up in Lookington. I saw bread for my mom from a very poor family. Mariah's mom or Bidel. Moriah's parents are not rich, or poor girl, struggle to go to school. George Weah from Gibraltar. Mr. Cummings from Fiamma 2.4. George Weah made up to $100 million in soccer. George Weah talent gave him $100 million. Mr. Cummings' brains gave him over, I don't know how many $1,000,000. Moriah struggled, her brain put her to where she is today. Kef Hassan, where do you live? Where you came from? Now, I will say this. My father, a Lebanese, I was born and raised in Liberia. Born in Maryland, raised in Liberia, served Liberian government. Now, do you say, oh, you're part of foreigner? Yes. Kef Hassan, where are you from? Because for a typical Liberian, in over 40, 50 years, you still speak Creole. Your accent is still stronger. One could tell you that you're from Sierra Leone, but you're from Bomi Hills. But others say, no, that's not true. You're from Sierra Leone. You calling country people because they went to school, they got money, God bless them, they country people. And George Weah, who made over $100 million, he's the country. Kef Hassan, we will not sit and allow you to play the racist game or the elite game. We will not allow that to happen. You might be spoon and give your lies because of radio station in Liberia and disrespecting a lady and lying publicly. You are the #1 liar on spoon. The people in Liberia know Liberians are not stupid people. But I want to call on every Liberian to condemn the nonsense that Kef and other people will want to play when they come to the elite. They will want to pin, oh, you people elite, elite. Oh, so if a countryman, God bless a countryman, he knows small a book, or God help him, he gets small money, he elite. So George Weah is not elite. After George Weah play with millions of dollars. Millions. Some of us here we never play, we wouldn't play with Tassie. Some of us will stay struggling. So you call us Congo too? Moriah grew up in Lockington. Struggle. She not from rich family. Struggle to make ends meet. Mr. Cummings born in Fiamma, went to government school, lived in Point 4, struggle the same way. How much they pay priests? His man said Dr. Flair, then she's a maid wife, then he got to go and collect the money from the people when it's credited to Dr. Flair. So he went through the same old thing. I don't know where you came from. I don't know where you live. And continue to play a game on spoon because you think and you're looking at Moriah. We built this station. We built this platform. You build a platform, yes. You build your platform on what? You afraid of Moriah. She's smarter than you. She's educated than you. Maybe you afraid of her. And Staton told you, stop lying. She never insulted you. She never insulted anybody. Just that when she asks a question, because you guys are not smart enough, you can say it. Because she catch you, she caught you on a lie. When Moses Gray lied, she called him out. She might be small, but she's smart. That is why most men don't like smart women. Look, God gave everybody a particular brain. God make everybody special. What is yours is yours. If she's smart, God bless her. Your ideas, think. Nobody went to school on common sense. You think it's common, but it's not common. You lying publicly. When it comes to sedition, you lie about them. A Akara's grade coming on lying. Regulation is what? When it comes to government, the legislators say, oh, they make laws. If you got an organization and the organization come with rules and regulation, what is rules and regulation? That's laws. Whatever you put together, NEC put all rules and regulation together, and they use it, and every political party abide by it. It's a law. It don't have to come from the legislators, man. These guys, they think that they know how to control the wars, but Moriah, you had defeated every man that came on that show. Now, when they come in on Spoon, they will think twice and do the homework. Kef Hassan don't know. He really don't know. So you are right to tell him that he don't know. You are right to tell him. But I want to tell you like this, please, do not allow these people to play the same race card. How will you say George, you are a countryman? George, you are way down, and Moriah, that part of the elite. Mr. Cummings, the elite. We will not give the country to Mr. Cummings. Oh. So, Mr. Cummings was born where? Kef Hassan, I see why the other day somebody told you, say you're Sierra Leonean. Because even the Ghanaians who live in Liberia for so long, they speak like a real Liberian. But you still speaking Creole. You still speaking Creole. Which part of Monrovia are you from? You must say, oh, my pa, yes, my pa, Lebanese man, I can't deny. But I was born and raised in Liberia. Live in Monrovia. Work for the Liberian government. I serve my country. Where you serve, you ever served Liberia before? Do you know what they call patriots? Patriotism? You know? No. I might have the color, but you and I go anywhere right now, they will consider me as a Liberian and never consider you as a Liberian, because the first thing, you don't speak like us and you don't look like us. We need to call these guys out when they're doing this nonsense. They want to play the same card, and do not allow it. I am not attacking Kef Hassan. I am attacking the devils, the ideas that came from out of him, the thoughts that came from his brains. That is what I'm attacking. I'm not attacking Kef Hassan. But what came from out of his mouth? They continue to use the word elite. So I live Looking Town. I saw bread in Looking Town. Some days we eat 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Some day my man got to struggle. We sell our bread before we eat. So if God bless me, then you call me Congo man. Then you call me what? I'm an elitist. Oh, we the one enjoying. Don't you know that Moriah from Looking Town in our slum? Josh, we are from the slum. Mr. Cummings said from the slum. Fiaman, what you think? Fiaman, that you think Mr. Cummings was living in a high mansion? Mr. Cummings went to the scene demonstration. Joshua went to Gibson, Ellie Mae Scarborough. You don't even know a damn thing about George Weah. Joshua went to Ellie Mae Scarborough. From Ellie Mae Scarborough, he went to Congress. From Congress, he went to Weston. If Joshua wanted to go to CWA, he was going to go to CWA, because he had every privilege to go to CWA, because he was playing for IE. He has everything in his corner. So President Weah never went through hard time like some of us, because from the day he wore that jersey from IE, his life transformed. From the day he put up the national team jersey, Joshua was making money. They were looking at Joshua and gave him $2,000, $3,000. And he had a job where he don't have to go and work, but they got paid. So we went through hell. We saw hard time. We know what they call hard time. We the one that understand that you got to leave from Tottenham, come home and go in the market to sell. where some days they gave you 50 cents and you pay 35 cents to go to school. Joshua, you experienced that one yet? President Weah never experienced it. Because from the day President Weah got in that jersey of Invisible 11, his life transformed. You know what I'm saying? You calling people elitists, Mr. Cummings, you will never come. I'm proud of you. So Joe, we are that countryman, Mr. Cummings, they're not countrymen. Shame on you, Kef Hassan. But it will not work. We will call you guys out. If you think that is the only way you can have re-election, trust me, you will not get it on the backs of the Liberian people. The Liberian people will teach you a lesson. Liberians will not fall for any lies anymore. We are tired of being divided. We are tired. Congo. We, the country people, been taking care of Liberia for almost 40 years. Our people are still suffering. 40 years from 1980. You're checking, maybe I'm making a mistake. We been in power 40 years. We killing each other. Then we still talking about Congo. Is there any Congo in Liberia anymore? One will tell you from Sierra Leone. You don't know a damn thing about Liberia. You don't even know Liberian history. We listen to you on Spoon every day. You don't know George Weah. President Weah told you something, man, you too much, man. You lie too much. It's a shame and disgrace. One will say, oh, Mooney, don't talk it. No. We will say it. We will say it. I'm not insulting him, but I'm going to tell him that we will not allow the play that card, that stupid race card or elite card to walk free. No way, no way, no way. You got a mind. You look at a young woman who went through hardship. You call her, she part of the elite because she went to school or she's smarter than you. That's a shame, Kef Hassan, to come up publicly because you got nothing to call integrity. You don't give a damn what a Liberian people attack you. But you should be ashamed of yourself. You own social media. This will follow you. You will not have space. Your own guilty conscience will make you not to even walk in the street. You will eat your words. And let me say this. If President Weah can be president, anybody in Liberia can be president. Down to the Zogo can be president. Because their president business now, it's like anybody can be president. Anybody. Why you elected President Weah, you don't even know. You voted in Liberia before? No. You never cast a vote in Liberia in your entire life. You never cast a vote in Liberia, Kef Hassan. You can call me, you can say, oh, you're part of Lebanese, but I am a Liberian. You are not a Liberian. You are not. You might live in Bills, but maybe you're born in Sierra Leone. Because you still have the accent. You still got the Creole in your mouth. I went to school in Sierra Leone. I live in Kisii. I went to Advert Academy too. I live Kisii. I live Wilberforce. Lived in Sierra Leone for 4-5 years. We need to stop the Liberians, please. We need to call any Liberian and look another Liberian and call them, oh, your thing, your that, your thing, your take, yourself special. Other people work hard. People work hard. They send their children to school. So when they learn, call them Congo. Listen, you can be in CDC. You can be in ANC, UP. We need to put an end to this thing. We need to stop to Liberians, you in Liberia, do not allow them to fool you because today you in Liberia struggling. If God help you, you climb up and you start getting money, the people will tell you, say you're a Congo man. So you need to put stop to it. You need to put stop to it. That's a shame. And to see a lawmaker too coming on social media and lying publicly to Liberians because they believe that Liberians do not research. He never expected Moriah to catch him. He never knew that Moriah did her research correct and caught him on his lies. This is how they lie. They lie to our people so much. They lie to our people because you know what? The president of Liberia continued to lie to our people. Then Weah is the number one. He have told more lies in Liberia than any president. But Muni, why will you say so? One, this president told us he was 9 years old when he left from Grand Cru and arrived in Monrovia 1979. So I don't know how long. So this president said he was born in Grand Cru, but his mother never visited Grand Cru. How they born him? And this same president, his biographic, when he was playing football, they say he was born in Mama Point because Mr. Weah was living in Mama Point. This same president told us he raised over $3 million. He came to the UN. It was in front of sedition. He pointed to Zoga Wilson. He said he raised $3 million and gave it to Zoga Wilson for Lone Star. Do you know what it means by $3 million? Today is $2 million. Do you know what it means to use $1 million? George Weah played 60 games for Lone Star. If anybody can correct me, 60 games for Lone Star from Dothan to present, 60. During Dothan, Joshua never bought ticket for Lone Star. He never paid for Lone Star to go anywhere. It was after the war, when the war slowed down, that when the corrupt LFA people start using Joshua, and Joshua start to select his own player. So he bring his player, he pay them, pay their way, and they pay him back. The government of Liberia will owe Joshua, then pay him back. Yeah. President Weah have lied to this country so many times. He gave a state of nation address and lie in it. Continue to lie to our people. So everybody in CDC, all the George Weah supporter think when they lie, they say because Liberian people believe it. George Weah lied, said when he take over, he will get his friends then coming to Liberia to create jobs. They will come with companies. None of George Weah's friends ever enter Liberia to do this. George Weah said he went in a refugee camp. Okay, granted. He went in refugee camp. He was UNICEF ambassador. He suspended his soccer career. Granted, but it was not truth because he was still playing. Okay, we gave you the presidency. After 12 years, we voted for you. We gave it to you. What have you done with the presidency? In 5 years, what have you done for Liberian people? Roads? You started it, thought it. The road was in progress. Government continues, and it's your job to finish it. So then let me tell you something. The way President Weah led news. You ever saw President Weah breaking ground on Nima Highway? You ever saw President Weah breaking ground in Maryland County for road? No. But you saw President Weah going to Banjo to open the road. He broke news. You saw President Weah breaking ground for all the small things. But all the other roads you're talking about, oh, President Weah finished. Yes, that's your job. If I start, you finish it. If you can't finish it, then finish it. That's not the one you're going to run on. You have created more poverty in Liberia than any president. You have turned professional Liberians into professional beggars. It's honor leadership. That is why we're calling you out. Right in front of your eyes, sedition demonstrated. They said, Mr. President, Tana Magay and all the guys are corrupt. You need to fire them. You refuse until the government of United States. You think it's a joking thing? I have to call you and say your people are corrupt. You suspended them, but you never even put a committee together. And then you sitting there, you allowing your supporters to come in the street. No sanction or no sanction, we will vote for you. Sanction or no sanction, we will vote for you. Your daily pray and turn and say you're sink. But let me tell you some of my Liberian people. Liberians, please. Do you know who said you came my man, you came my pa, I will vote for you? Don't let nobody fool you. That the educated people started the song and gave it to you and pay and say, y'all go sing the that. You came my man, you came my power, vote for you. Do you know who started it? That book, before you know who started it? Oh, the same educated people, the so-called educated people who failed Liberia. They the ones started singing the song. They put it on and said, we fail the people, man. We fail the people. Y'all go ahead, y'all start singing. Then you're starting it again. You get sanction, you don't get sanction, we will vote for you. You get sanction. And please, my light is not too good because two of my bulb blew off. So that's why you see the green screen because I'm using a backdrop. Yeah. So you see, our biggest problem in Liberia is not you, the ordinary man, are the so-called educated people who feel that they travel, they get a big degree, and all they dare to do is to steal. And they put you into that situation. But I will tell you today, do not allow them pretend. First food are no Liberian people. We don't have patience for bad leaders. We do not have patience for bad leaders. And nowhere President Weah should tell us that, oh, I went in refugee camp. Where were you, Mr. Cummings? You still talking about 20 years ago? How can Liberian be brave to be talking about 20 years ago, my people, when we're supposed to be moving forward? Why will you talk about 20 years ago? Show us what President Weah did in Liberia before he became president. You can show it. I challenge anyone. He never had a birthday or Christmas party for the children before. When he was just an ordinary George Manuel Weah, the professional, the man who make almost $100 million. His wife today was never in Liberia. She never had one foundation or make her first lady. 1.5 million times 5. That is what we have given with no report. And where is the building? We have not seen it yet. Liberians, don't blame yourself. Don't let nobody tell you did something wrong. You never did nothing wrong. You only exercise your constitutional right to vote. I supported Mr. Cummings, other people supported Boakai, you supported George Weah. You do nothing wrong. You're not the one who told President Weah to employ corrupt people and to steal government money. You're not the one I told him. You believe you saw something in President Weah that he was going to make the change. He was going to fight corruption. But what they did, they said, oh, we passed the freedom of speech act. That's truth. You implementing it. The Whistleblower Act, we pass it. You implementing it. Corruption days, you implementing it. No. That is how they fool you, because the likes of Akara Gray, that's what they do. They know how to talk, but they do not implement what they say and what they put on paper. They only put it there to fool you. Say, oh, that guy know how to talk. Oh, that guy got walls. District 8. If you vote for Akara Gray, everybody live District 8. Deny him of being a robot. If you were a vote for Akara's Gray, he got his people them that he usually take from all the way. Look at. Yes. If you vote for Akara's Gray, that means you selling your right. You selling your future. This man abandoned you. He said, oh, I'm not running again. He built his house, his first house in his life. He never been in the district. He built it all the way Dwason. All the way Dwason. That's why he built the house. And that running, he tried to go to Cape Man. They deny him. Now, the shit hit the fence. He won't come back to run. Do not allow him. Even if you will select a dog with new ideas, do that. Do it. Or else, he will make fun out of you and tell you, say, you're nothing. He brags about it. Nobody stand right of Akara's Gray. One of the most corrupt representatives ever in our history too. Look at their lives. Look at the whole picture. Look how they look. I know life will change when you get a job to do. They're sitting down today trying to pass a law to give themselves 50% of their salary, while civil servants are not even getting the pension. People who retired, but none of the lawmakers talk about it. But they want 50% of their salary, 50% of the gas, everything they wanted. If all of them agree, they will pass it. What will you do? What will you do? What will you do? Because of the hardship, to be frank with you, because of the hardship, they could argue one way or the other, but it's just so stupid where or timeless where our country is going through financial difficulties. Our teachers, school open, our hospitals, other places are terrible, but other lawmakers fighting to get the money. Yeah, fighting. Even if they pass a law and say, okay, if anyone who will spend 20 years in the Senate or representative, I think they're entitled to something. Or if you resign your post, you're entitled to your benefit, or you pay into it. When you pay into it, you're entitled to it. Don't you know that the lawmakers and other people pay into all these things? Even the football players now, they pay into their retirement. So when they leave football, the people give them money. Oh, you just won't take. What was the idea? To say, listen, let us pass a law. Let us put 20 and 10% or 30% of our money in this place. So by the end of the year, or maybe government can match it almost like 401k. Or your retirement, your SSO, whatsoever. But you want for government to give you after you now still, government should still give you. But the ordinary Liberian can take pay. The salary is this and that. Because they say, oh, the legislator can make their own salary. Because you got a government that don't care. Because if you get a real government who say we don't have the money, don't know how you will make your own salary. How you going to make your own salary when the government say we cannot afford it? But because government is corrupt, so the government gave the legislature the ability to steal. Because the government want for the legislature to pass that budget that they will control and eat. So whatever the legislature wants, that's what they put in that budget. They say, okay, don't worry, we increase your salary. Okay, we do this. My people, the option for us is clear. Alexander Cummings is the only guy in Liberia who's running right now that never worked for government. But because he worked for government, oh, he don't have experience. Now what you say? Where's the rules? Where is the rules? You don't have to work for government to run for president. Mr. Cummings worked his entire life for big companies. His degree, nothing on his degree saying that he should only go work to Coca-Cola or Pittsburgh. Nothing on the other people degree that they should go work to them. Running for office is not a job that you apply for. It got nothing to do with your resume. You don't know that? Librarian, let me show you, tell you something. Some of you're too smart to be dull. It sounds funny, eh? Nothing. That's not a job you're applying for. It's not a job. It's just for you to advocate for someone, for your people. That's why they voted for you. You never went to them and say, I got my resume, I got this, I got that. No. You don't need no degree to work to get elected. You don't need no degree. And let me tell you something. Even in the great United States, there is nothing in the Constitution that says you should get degree to run. But it's just a human nature. It's just some universal thing where we expect you to know something. We expect you to know how to read and write because you will be making decisions. Guess what? You are the one who employ the best people. Now, when you employ your education minister and whatsoever, that's when you want to see their resume. You know, so let us not fool ourselves. Oh, Mr. Cummings don't have governmental experience. How can you tell me you got governmental experience just by electing? They elected you. Then you get governmental experience. You went to a house to only talk. You went to only advocate to speak for your people. Oh no, we can't. But all you did there was to increase your benefits. But today, you're looking at a man who work in a private sector, who control of 500, who are in charge of legal and finance and whatsoever, sit one place and control the entire Africa. That Liberia will worry about. Go on the people's side and read about this guy. Yes, George Weah was senator for about 4 years. George Weah was peace ambassador. That the job they're talking about now, Ellie made him peace ambassador. He never opened an office. Where was the peace ambassador office at the Internal Affairs? He never opened. He never set up the office. It was just a one-man show and few people. He became senator for 4 years. What he did there to say that he got experience, he ain't got a damn experience. His talent gave his money. He made up to $100 million. So he countryman, the other country people who take care of the money, who doing good, the Congo people, the elite, Kef Hassan and other seditious and other people, we will not take it from you. We will not take it from you. The same Jackson, the Kef Hassan, the Akarat Gray, and whatsoever, we will not take it from you. And some of you who running around and calling Mr. Cummings gay. When the time reach, we will tell you people who's the real gay in Liberia. We will attack every angle. There's too much diplomacy, this and that is over. We will attack all over. Because some of y'all know your political leaders there. Y'all know your bosses and people in Liberia sleeping with young boys. Y'all know that very well. But y'all think y'all will put something on a man. This is what I'm struggling with. I'm gay. How can two men marry? You think gay can have? Robert Sirleaf left from America. I didn't know Robert Sirleaf to be a gay. I never saw him before. He went to Liberia. He never hired. He organized a team with also young boys. How I believe it. Until I saw this young boy who said, yes, I kissed Robert Sirleaf. I was loving to Robert Sirleaf. So what? A gay can never hire a man who sleep with young boys. Can never hide the strap. Even when one boy try to hide it, somebody will bring it up. We should be ashamed of ourselves to look at a decent man, to see a fool like Obe. That is why God punished them, but they didn't know that God punishing them. They don't know that God punishing them because of their stupidity, because of the wrongdoing. You went to Liberia, you spent all your small money. You back now. You on dialysis because of your attitude for lying on an innocent man, because that's the only way you can find him, because you ain't got no debt on him. Because you don't have a date on him, you call him gay. You ask a man a question, and this is a lifestyle I'm been struggling with. How can a man marry gay? Your editor it. But we found out, and what his name said, Mama D. Mama D, the one that got that tape, and they edited that tape. The boy asked Mr. Cummings, "Is that the only question? If Mr. Cummings want to declare that he gay, that in library, you go do it. Let me ask you something. If Mr. Cummings really want to declare that he or gay, that in library you do it, he will do it right here. He will do it right here. And then again, guess what? Mr. Cummings had a big job that if he was so gay, you see Anderson Cooper, the pressure rised them until they came out. You see Lemon, the job that Mr. Cummings had, there is no way he could hide himself from gay business because he was a vice president. They were going to push him because that's how the LBGT work. They all say, "Oh, Mr. Cummings raised money for gay." Hey, my people, Liberian people, you know how to lie. Put the CEO picture from 2017. Mr. Cummings raised $400,000, I know $400,000 or $1 million for gay community. And even if he did it, if Mr. Cummings were gay, let me put more sense in your head. In America, the kind of job that Mr. Cummings had in America, there is no way he could stay in the closet. No way. No way. If Mr. Cummings was sleeping with boys in this country and the kind of job that he had, he was never going to hide it because they were going to pressure him until he would come out. And if Mr. Cummings come out, he will never even want to run for president because he knows Liberian people don't accept it. He knows that very well. Check all gays if they get children. How many of them get children? How many of them get children? Check all the gays that you know. They either adapt, they don't pregnant nobody. They and his wife been together for 40 years, my people. Some of our so-called pastors who pretend to be pastors. Oh, you hear, you listen to the tape, Mr. Cummings are gay. What on that tape that he tells you you're gay? Because he said this is a lifestyle, man, struggling. You listen to the last statement, you guys took it out. You took it out. How can two men marry? And two, when they ask you about gay, it's very sensitive, especially you come from America or even in Liberia. You know how many less in Liberia? In president, we are government. You get Nimale, she lesbian. You got other people who are gay. You got what his name said and Sten Wulu. According to them, now what they say. Why you ain't go after them? You're getting in the same CDC. The same president, we are the guy had name around and say he can sleep with young boys. Then you want to talk about Mr. Cummings that gay? Or because you don't have nothing on him. Because you don't have nothing on him. How many gay that you know that got children? Biological children. How many gay that you know? Raul said he get child. Yeah. Look around. Anderson Cooper. He ain't got none. Why would Mr. Cummings, they say they got to put a corner down low. Why would Mr. Cummings want to spend 40 years with his wife and be a gay? And went to Liberia. The place the children are vulnerable. Robert Salif went there, he manipulated the children, he misused them, he abused them. You won't find one girl in Liberia say, "Oh, that Mr. Cummings, the one I pay my rent behind there before I talk about one young boy." Shame on you. You ain't get nothing on Cummings. You don't have nothing. You're afraid of Ellis Cummings. The Liberian people will vote for Ellis Cummings. The Liberians will vote for Mr. Cummings. We're getting there. From now to December, January, February, March, April, June next year, you people will know. You see the God we serve? That the same God you're serving. But the people who pretend that they're serving the same God. People who are serving the same God, but their ideas, their plans, their heart is dirty. All the small lies about people lying. It will catch up with them. It will catch up with y'all. Kev Hassan of all person insulting Mr. Cummings. He will never, y'all will never be president. Who is Cummings to be president? Or Freetown man from Sierra Leone. He say he was a Liberian man. Me, my father, that Lebanese male. My man, a Liberian woman. I was born in Liberia. They put you myself behind behind the door. Now we start talking. They would leave you behind because you're Sierra Leone. You still speaking Creole. You calling country people elite. Joshua from Gibraltar, from the slum. Moriah coming from the same slum. In Lockington, when it rain, we got to take out our shoes to go to school or to go anywhere. We climb on the racks to come on the road and now he's in Lockington. You ever lived there before? No. Mr. Cummings coming from what? Point 4. Fiama. Or because blessing today, he a Congo man because God bless him. So by the time God bless you, you Congo man. So Joshua the not Congo man. Joshua the not Congo man. The man who make millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. He not Congo man. That other people Congo. You envy the people for the education. You envy them for what they make. Again, Kev Hassan. Didn't the one I told you to fail the state board 7 times? I don't know what Senator can even give it to you, said now. But you need to stop it. The people listen to you. This is social media. Just stop lying to our people back home. Do you know what brought war in Liberia? Misinformation, lies, misusing public funds for personal use, all things. Stealing election caused us to fight in Liberia. We need to stop it. We need to stop it. Because they got nothing to say. Mr. Cummings, that Congo man. Oh, Ellen Johnson brought Mr. Cummings to Liberia to come be president. That Ellen Johnson feeding Mr. Cummings. That Ellen Johnson taking care of Mr. So, oh, Mr. Cummings, just come here. So when Ellen Johnson brought Mr. Cummings to come be president, when she was running George Weah campaign indirectly, giving all the people money to George Weah through the NSA. Oh no. That time it was okay. It was fine. So President Weah gave her 80%. When she carried President Weah to break ground on the Lofa Highway, it was fine. Now you say you now shit on yourself. Ellie supported you. She never told you to steal the poor money. She never told you to be a bad president. She never said it. She told you to work for the people. Now you're blunder. You shot yourself in the head. You're worried about other people. People leaving you. Martin McIntosh left. Other people leaving. Then your vest. Then your vest. I was seeing opposition put to the vest. People support you is okay. When people support Mr. Cummings, they corrupt. Why now? Is that how they go? How they think can go now? You support the other man support me, you vest. What you vest for? Liberian people, that Adel, the people there, they think they can talk because they don't want been talking before, they don't want been stealing. So they think they can convince you when they carry lies, but we're not allow them to lie this time around. We're not allow them to lie this time around. No way. Let me tell you about Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings, he retired. Check all of them, they retired. But Mr. Cummings retired from his work. God bless him. He worked for his money and not our money. He oh, either we eat it, but not our money. Mr. Cummings, every day he worry. Mr. Cummings open school in Liberia. That's Mr. Cummings open in Liberia. That the only school that in Liberia, they call it the STEM school. Science, technology, mathematics, engineer school, technology. When you go to Ghana, that's plenty. In America, they plenty. But the only one they build are in Liberia, Mr. Cummings. And guess what? Then I Mr. Cummings build. Then I have own money. You know who build? That Coca-Cola and Chevron. You know what they build it for? Because of the work that Mr. Cummings did for them. The University of Liberia, Mr. Cummings, the lab, the computer lab that there, I think in Fender, it is named after Cummings. You know that Mr. Cummings was the first Liberian man who paid the children WAEC fee before President we start running all around about paying WAEC fee. Oh, you don't know that? You know what Mr. Cummings can talk it for? Because he never did it. He's a philanthropist. He decided whether we vote for him or not, he will do what he's supposed to do. But he can't help everybody. The Nima Community College, he attend that school, but he getting $25,000. President we are not getting $25,000 before when he was playing football. No. University of Liberia, $2 million for that scholarship. President we are gave $5,000 during do time. That the one we can hear about every day. Joe we are give scholarship. Every day, Joe we are give. You show us another school that President we are gave money to. I challenge. So they say. They lie. Oh, President we are has student all in a cathedral, and that's also BS. That lie. When President we are giving a $5,000 during do time, they had a program and get them one bus. Eh? UMU, they name the honor class college in honor of him. He helped, he built clinics, he built churches, he built mosques. But he don't talk about it. He got students on scholarship, not ANC people, but students, Liberian. Mr. Cummings not running for president for ANC or Liberty Party or CPP. Mr. Cummings running for president for Liberia. Liberia first. Mr. Cummings believed that Monrovia is not Liberia. That's why you see Mr. Cummings going there. Mr. Cummings, the only Liberian, the only politician who anybody can interview him. And he continued to explain, you know the platform? No. And say, oh, when you vote for me, I will do this. No. Mr. Cummings, the one who talked about the budget going to $1 billion, CDC now to 780 million, 85, the stock. Yeah. Mr. Cummings is a profession, he real profession, financial man. That is what he good at. So nobody will fool him. He know how to make people make money. So nobody will tell say Mr. Cummings going to take money and us to vote. He's not giving nobody money to vote. He can help organization. And you know why people help organization? Like, let me tell you. Don't look, I can come to you and give you $5. It will not help you. I can do it collectively. It will help the community. If you want us to dig well for you, we must put the well somewhere for everybody to come there. If we're supposed to put a community upper hut or community center, we'll put it somewhere for everybody to enjoy it. We can't give one person the money. That is a Mr. Cummings man. You build country through communities, self-help projects. That's not rocket science. Read about Belgium. When you get in Lockington, you got community leaders in Lockington. They put their proposal, they put things together. Government help them, and they build that place. They clean that place. They do everything together. But guess what? For the citizen to do it, they must have a strong government. That is what we don't have. That is what we don't have in Liberia. We've been having bad presidents. And the funny part, the one that surprised me, How can you tell me that President Weah is the best president when he stayed president? That is not how they judge president. You must leave office, then they will compare you with other people. But you keep president, then they say you're the best president. When on record, they say President Totmo and President Talbot was the best Liberian president because of where he took Liberia, where he trapped us before we killed him. But how can you say President Weah are the best president? Don't you know that we have upstairs and downstairs market in Liberia? President don't build upstairs and downstairs market. Eh? Don't you know that we had traffic light in Liberia before? Don't you know that we had telephone Star War? You don't know that? You don't know that LEC were all over Monrovia. The only place we couldn't get LEC that were in the other places then. You don't know that? So it almost like you go to the casino, you lost $1 million. Then you go there today, you won $200 million. You think you win, you lose. You stay cover up yet. So what we're doing, like bro, we ain't come up yet. Because of politics, that look at the Ralphie Highway. We said it a long time that because of election, they were rushing. People falling all in the ditch now. Major highway where everybody coming to Liberia, they got to go to that airport. Because of the digging hole, the country is all over the floods, all over. When it rains, it's a trouble. You think the president care? President Weah look in our face and say, we should get CC camera. CC camera. Even if I get CC camera, I get like, I will work. So even if we tell the government, say, okay, you want to protect the people, you put a CC camera in the street, but how it will work? Don't lie. No lie. How does CC camera will work now? It can't work because don't lie. So why they stole from President Weah house? He get CC camera there too. He get CC camera. Okay, my people. President Weah, we should give him another 6 years. They say let him finish what he started. What he started. All we know what they started was this team stealing. Uncle Sam, America, our big brother. America is our number one. If anything happen in Liberia today, natural disaster whatsoever, that America will come to our aid. Anything happen in Liberia today, that America will come to our aid. You do know that? The people say we get corrupt leaders. They been stealing the people money. Now because America ain't sanctioned somebody yesterday, so they can't sanction somebody today now. You went to the border, you passed with your bag, they ain't check you. The next man passed, they check you, then you say, oh, how about that man who went? The man passed at Jenna, you ain't checking. You better stop the complaining. This government complain until they didn't do nothing. Because they continue to shift the blame. They continue to shift the blame. By the time they do this, when you talk, you say, ain't Ellen did it too? Oh, at least Ellen stole her money, she carried it. But at least we using it here. But anything say, if I steal money, the other people stole, they carry their own money. If I steal money and build house for my people that bad thing, oh, yeah. President Weah, at least he built a house. So all those years, why President Weah ain't build a house? How can you tell me that President Weah had money before he became president? That's a lie. That is a lie because Liberians do not pretend. George Weah, at the time when he got money, you saw the kind of car he drive and the way he moved. When George Weah got broke, everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. So Liberians, please, this election is not an easy election. It's not an easy election. I'm not running campaign. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, my candidate is going against George Weah. I don't know about the other candidates. They can speak for themselves. But whether some of them will support us or we will support them, when the time reaches, we will know. But for us, we made it clear. George Weah must go. So no matter whoever go against George Weah, he got to go. He's got to go. We're not going to go back to the same mistake. We're not going to say, because he's not the opposition right now. The same way in 2017, the opposition joined him to remove Unity Party. So this time, if he don't win it in the first round, the opposition will stand together against him. Fair game, it's a fair game, because why? He failed. The only person I would say he failed are the likes of Edwin Snow and other people there who still won't be eating. They don't want to say, President, we are doing an excellent job. They're not President, we are keeping the peace. The Liberian people keeping the peace, not President. It's the Liberian people. This just pretend. People are dying. Look at the judge. The judge they just appointed. Look at all the information that coming on that judge. But our senators will confirm him. They will confirm him. With all the things I listened to Brownie Samuka today, I say, wow. Why, my people? Why? Liberia that farm. Liberians, if we don't change it, they will take it. And we will suffer. We will suffer. We will suffer. Our people are dying in poverty. Our young people, 5 years today, they can't find job. 5 years today, they can't find job. You know, I was telling my nephew, one of my nephews, they voted for CDC. So I went to the library. He said, hey, Uncle Money, can you talk to your friend to give me a job? I said, my man, but you're sedition. So I talked to, I would not even hide it. I would not hide it. I talked to Kofa. I went to her house. The former, the deputy manager for Freeport, Cecile Kofa, Coffee, what are they? Coffee, what they want from Freeport. I went to her house. My first time to see her husband came from the States too. She got a nice, small palava hut. She got a big Jesus Christ in her yard. Because I knew her from Facebook, we've been talking. You know, I used to like her, woman of God. She led God business, you know. I went there, I asked her. I said, my nephew, man, he's a sedition. If there's anything to the put, oh, you know, and we are there, I got to get it, not easy, this and that. She said, but I will try. Yeah. She's your coffee. I will try. That same day, the pastor now to the church here, Folklore Club Church, he came there. But my nephew, that's sedition. He working? Oh, no, he not working. He not working. All of them support CDC. Every one of them supported CDC. They voted for CDC and whatsoever. But you know, they say, child, who can yell? I said, everybody got to make their own mistake. So 5 years gone. Then job. No job. I even asked a friend to NSA. He said, oh, my man, in fact, I will not call his name, but anybody who know me and you know who I talk about the NSA, I said, my man, you need to employ my picking man. Up to present, nothing. He voted for CDC. He voted for CDC. He out of college. He graduated, but he can't find a job. Because government never created avenue. So where he was working at, he was working with his uncle. He used to work to the club. He used to work to our place and, you know, do a little thing. He doing a small business and chilling. You understand? So we saying all things, look at the people, look at the young people. So Liberians, don't let the people, first food are full, second food are full. Look at your life. It is time to try new pressing. We ain't nothing to lose. There is no way you will tell me that George Weah is better than Mr. Cummings. Nobody will tell you that. Look at Mr. Cummings' record, 6 years in Liberia. Move Liberia 2016. Look how consistent President Mr. Cummings. He's very consistent in telling the post I will fight corruption. He said we'll fight corruption, we'll not allow it to happen. People who steal will go after you. So tell me now, President Weah can say no. Any other candidate in Liberia can say no. Mr. Cummings got this platform. Let me tell you today. Every day you say you ain't get, what Mr. Cummings can. For those of you who playing blind eyes, you are smart. You went to school. We play it every day. Mr. Cummings is the only candidate who came out with a plan and got it on. He got a blueprint. If give it to you to read from now to judgment day, it is not your plan. You'll not use it. He got it written and make video out of it. This man got a plan of 5 watts that can move any country, even the great United States. Infrastructure, electricity. Liberian people, a young girl like businessman coming to that country here. Even you that in Liberia, when you get current, the school will be good because everything will be fine. The water system will work, agriculture will work, the hospital will work, the dialysis machine that they get over there will keep working. Drinking water, good drinking water. People will not die from typhoid. We need internet. If we get good internet, say we got fiber optic in Liberia. We can even hire teacher in America. They got good Liberian teacher. Like let's say we hire Mele Wallo, Jalo Wallo. Jalo Wallo is a mathematician. He can stay in America and teach in Liberia. The same way the people learn on the internet. They in Liberia. Listen, our government official, they in Liberia, they going to school. They in Liberia, they going to school online in America. The SS director, he just came and graduated a few days. They in Liberia, but they're going to school online in America. You can get Professor Wallo to sit and teach Liberian student math. Yeah. Because we get good internet. The fiber optic we got, is the people using it? Oh no, it's just sitting there. We'll soon start paying the people. Then you get good agriculture system. We're talking about mega agriculture. And when you get internet, then you got drone flying around the whole farm, moving around, checking, dropping this and that. The remote moving the entire machine to water the whole place. Hey, Liberian people. 5 million. We only 5 million or more. Then we ready to compare ourselves with America, that 330 million. They'll say, and they can kill America. If you compare the killing in America and the killing in Liberia, we still, if you compare it, 5 million. We got resources, we got everything that you can think about, including bauxite, we got it. But what we don't have is leadership. We don't respect what we put papers. We put it there and pretend like we okay with it, and we only talk about it, but we don't implement it. Implementation is our problem. So when they see Cummings stand by the book that the one like a head of feelings. Who this guy? Liberian people, only you understand Mr. Cummings. Only you alone will benefit from Mr. Cummings. The so-called corrupt ones that benefit. The other corrupt ones who want to join line will join the line. They're not corrupt because you know what? They follow the system so they have to live. Although they're praying for good person, they got some people who are not too strong. They say if you can't beat the system, just join the system. If you can't fight the system, join the system. So you see. So Mr. Cummings' agenda, that your agenda. They're talking about education, teachers training, adult education. Mr. Cummings got plans for Zogos. The first 3 years, I can tell you about it. Look, Mr. Cummings was on my show the other day, and I told him that is what I will hold him for. If I don't do anything in Liberia, if Mr. Cummings is president, I will pressurize Mr. Cummings until Mr. Cummings will have 10 Zogos graduation in 2 years. I'm not saying it should be 1 year, because nobody should fool you that when Mr. Cummings take what today, tomorrow they start clearing Zogo from the street. No, 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 no. You got to plan where you want to put them. They get Bele Yara. You can transform the entire Bele Yara into an institution or dormitory. You got farm, you got football field, you got basketball court. Children live there. Other people will send their half children there too. You start voluntary. You start with voluntary. You say, who want to go to school? Come. In 6 months, if you do want to go to school, please leave the street. Go home. Because imagine a child was 14 years old in Liberia when the war started. Some of them was 10 years old. They were in first grade. Some were in second grade. Let's go to the one who was 14 years old. You see a 14 years old boy in Liberia, you think that, you know, a baby. 14-year war. Some of them they kill a man, they kill a pa. That 14 years war, that 28 years old. Ellen Johnson came and added another 12 years on it. President Weah added another 5-6 years on it. What's the future of that child, of that person? That person got nothing to do. But do you think that person can go to school again? No. Not because the government, Charles Taylor never did it, or Ellie never did it, so nobody do it. You can still transform that person's life. You don't need know how to read and write to change bricks or to fix chairs. So carpentry, mechanic, masonry. The one about say mason, I know mason or what. You can work. You don't need no too much writing. You give the people 1 year, 2 years, but you got to get them something now. You can't just take the man from the street. He don't have nothing. You save some of his money. Weekend they will kind of shopping. They get buses and all that. They live here on the campus. By the time they graduate, what you do? You make them work for government for 1 year. You send them to GS. The one that who carpenters will start fixing decks, chairs for government offices. The ones that who mechanic, you assign them to every ministry to be a mechanic. In 1 year time, they're free to go, or if they want to stay, or they can go do their own business with a small money, but you got to manage them too now. Easy. $5 million can solve that problem. It's just something I'm giving offer. These are things that are government. The money is there. You can do it. You can do it. Like people like Cummings. You can do it. United Nations will chip in. Other people can chip. You raise that money. Not to just build a house and put them in one little place with no tray or the must eat. No. They should rehabilitate them from that place. They should go back in society. The Cummings administration will be the first place that you will see that handicaps are not crazy people. Handicaps shouldn't be begging in the street. They can find something to do. You can train them. Some of them cannot be trained right now, but you can train them. But because of the way we treat them, we still get a Newport Street to that dirty place. We got blind people in the street. The other one I listen to Fagon. That time he was a minister. Oh, I will talk to the president to buy king because everything a president we are. What the health ministry doing? Social services, what they doing? We got crazy children in Liberia. We don't care. They in the street. We know they get crazy people in America too now, but you can't compare the ratios, the percentage, and whatsoever. So we got all these things. A rich country, but everybody, only few people getting rich every day. They don't respect our people. We don't respect ourselves. We don't respect our children. Let me tell you something. Liberians, if you listen to me, the only thing between you and myself, the only difference us right now, I thought I'm coming to America myself. God bless me. I come to America. I got family people I can't come to America. In America, if I work, I will pay. By the time that time reach 12 o'clock night, my money in the bank. In Liberia, if you work, you can get paid. They will decide when to pay you. In America, when you go to some trade and you graduate, people waiting for you to employ you, or you can go and find a job. In Liberia, when you graduate, you sit down. In America, if they fire me today, I will file for unemployment and I will still get money. In Liberia, when they fire you, you're done for good. In America, if I don't have nothing to eat and I'm working, I can go to the food bank and go get food from there. Free food. The jail Liberia we probably don't go there at all. In Liberia, you can try it. But you that in Liberia, you smarter than us. You understand it because you know why you're struggling in Liberia. You're not lazy. It's because the government is what the government doing. That's why you're doing that way too. That is why to even sell good people to you is hard, because the government frustrated you. The government lied to you. All the promises made, go look at them today. But let me tell you, because we have been voting wrong, we have been doing the wrong thing. We need to know about the person, not to know the person. There are people who know me and don't know my ways. If I'm into politics, know about me. Don't just know me. But for us, we know you, that's it. I know about Cummings. I study about Ellis Cummings. I sat with Ellis Cummings. I never knew him when I was supporting him. I reached to the place where I don't put my trust in man, only God. But sometimes you must trust people. I listen to people and I had to take my answer, my questions. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. It's not a rocket science to know if someone smart or someone speaking sincerely. Listen to Mr. Cummings. He don't miss a word. The same thing he said 2017, he's still saying it today. In fact, he upgraded some of them. He's still saying the same thing today. Other politicians, they change. When it comes to Mr. Cummings, a force for him to be president, if Mr. Cummings won't help, why he can't open business? Joe, we are open business in Liberia. It ever lasted? No. You know, I can't understand. If you say why he open business, then why you vote for Bernard Ure? Why you never voted for Bernard? Because Bernard Ure have employees. He had a lot of employees. He was the biggest employer, Liberian employer. Why you vote for him? Since that's what you were looking for. Because Bernard Ure employed a lot of people. You ask the other people why they employ people. But you know what? Because we all know God is showing us something. Alex Cummings is the guy. God took Alex Cummings all over the place to show him, we'll prosecute you, we'll do this. You gay, you stupid man, you shot, you don't know nothing, you sugar water, you get child steal money. They want man. Ellen Johnson brought you to make you president, you this and that. You the one post sanction on Liberia. You post, tell me Liberian people can lie. We need to stop it if we want our country back. When I say we want our country back, I'm not talking just to take it from Joshua here. When I say we want our country, I want to go back to the days where people take Liberia to be that little light on the hill. Do you know why Liberia had the largest registry? Because Liberia was one of the peaceful country. One of the peaceful country. Do you know the role your country play in the war? Founding member of United Nations, OAU, you know. We just been having bad leaders. Josh, we are not the only bad leader. But our time, he's the bad leader. Yes. Sometimes I ask myself whether Josh, we are really want to run. Yeah. Telling people to go demonstrate. Sanction or no sanction, we will vote for you. You think Uncle Sen joking? Hmm? Okay, guys. Thank you. But let me recap again. This elite, we must put stop to it. We must call any Liberians who start to speak that way, like Kef Hassan. He's on radio. That is the playing card. So people say, oh, don't talk because Kef Hassan. No. Kef Hassan bringing a division. Kef Hassan telling me now that he's not a Liberian, so he don't give a damn. Because if you're a Liberian and you're a sound and decent person, you will not want to talk about the whole tribal thing. You know what happened between the Kra and the Gio and the Mano, the Madingo people? Eh? Lie. Mr. Cummings was born in Fiama. He born to the old government hospital. He lay 0.4. George Weah grew up in Rata. Moriah from Lotan in our slum that when it rained, she got to take off her shoes. I live in looking I used to sell bread. It was shit. Sometimes I had to eat late. Then today, when you claim certain place, they say you Congo man, you elite. Eh? Mr. Cummings made millions. Joshua make millions. Joshua made honest millions, but he lavished it. His talent gave him millions. Oh, so he elite. He's not. Kev Hassan, you're a fool. You are a fool. I'm sorry. You were looking like a clown today on that show, lying publicly on a girl because you're afraid of her. She was just only teaching you sense. And she was teaching the other corrupt Senate and representative sense. That's all. Yeah. So that is the whole thing. So don't forget, I will be September 11. September 11, I will be live on Liberty Radio 88.1, 9 o'clock Liberian time, 5 o'clock American time. So Sunday and Tuesday, every Sunday and Tuesday, it has been set, signed, the deal is done. My first will be Sunday. I got to try my best to keep it in that hour time. No cussing, no this, but it will be like a Facebook thing where they will be in the studio and I will be talking to the people who will receive calls and other things. So share the video, like the page, like the political general page. I appreciate it if you can like it. Yes, if you look on there, and I got more people watching on the other page and on the general on the other share. I noticed that a lot of people now watching, but can just like it. I appreciate it and like the page, please. Yeah. Okay, I see more people. Okay, guys. So that is the general. It start Tuesday and Sunday. This Sunday, September 11. I will be live on Liberty Radio. We will speak the truth to our people. We will tell them the truth. They did nothing to us. They did not wrong. They voted for George Weah. That was their choice. But George Weah failed. So okay, guys, have a good day. Let me close you up with the 5 whats and how of Alex Cummings. So please watch it, listen to it. This is the only man with the plans. This is the only guy who has a plan, Alexander Cummings. So just listen to it and bye for now. God bless you. God bless our country. Share the video and please like my page, The Political General. I appreciate it very much. Why on me out in the comments, but for now I'm not going to read any comments. I gotta go to bed. Y'all take it easy now. Bye.
Stop coming, stab 'em. Stab 'em. Alexander Cummings, stab 'em. Keep body explode.
The leaders I love, the leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader.
The oldest republic in Africa. And yet, we're one of the least developed countries on the continent, and indeed one of the least developed countries in the world. And I say to you, my fellow Liberians, we deserve a better Liberia. We need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Why are we where we are? Most Liberian homes don't have electricity. Most Liberian homes don't have running water. Most Liberians are unemployed. These are things we can change. These are things we should demand of ourselves and of our leaders. We, as Liberians, cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders with the same kinds of experiences and expect Liberia to change. We have to do many things differently, and that starts with selecting and electing new leaders who know how to create jobs, who know how to grow the economy, who will prioritize the Liberian people first before they prioritize themselves. And this is what I offer you, the Liberian people. The other universal truth that I want to share with you, my fellow Liberians, is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And again, I ask you to look at my record of job creation, of success, of managing large budgets without one penny going missing. All of these things you can look at and compare to the other candidates. And again, you will see that my past performance and past behavior is a good predictor, a good indicator that what I commit to, we will deliver. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. The next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country, is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay? So those are the things we'll do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government. because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the hows. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates expiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
Chicken necro for day.
Not in the business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving up away. We coming, we coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. Anywhere we meet up, stick. We coming. We coming.
My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived two deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and Riversés, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bung, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
For yourself, so to wash it down. We're shopping 350 US dollars. That is what can be for yourself, so to wash it down. We're shopping 350 US dollars. That is what can be for you to like to eat lobster and he's showing a baby chicken and driving at it. That's now car. That is what can be. How much money did you send to me to campaign for you and fight for you? How many times did you call me? Did you even call me to say, dog, thank you, you are fighting for me? You think we stupid here? Joshua, you think we stupid here? Eugene Nangbe, who said he used to do your homework? Who said you were dull? Who left you behind and joined the ruling party? He served as Secretary General for the ruling party. Was that not the man we had to battle against to give you the presidency? When he was the lead propagandist of the government that we brought down, was I not your lead propagandist against him? He sits comfortably beside you in your luxury private flights that you take around the world. I who defeated him, I was subjected to his leadership. Nobody's stupid here. The very man that is the Minister of Information today, wasn't it the man that denied Dwana Sion and Kwame Weeks and your little chicken radio station, President Weah, was only around Morovia, Bomi, and other areas? You think we stupid here? We gave you the victory. But today we have become your worst enemies and they have become your friends. But what we will not accept from you and your friends is to take our loyalty for stupidity. Campaign for who? And against who? The first 5 people you appointed in government. You appointed Bezonga Finley. You appointed Mary Pro. You retained Vani Salif. You maintained Eugene Nangbe, the traitor that forced us to work 3 times more. The then Chief of Staff and the Deputy Chief of Staff were promoted to Minister of Defense and Chief of Staff respectively. The current NSA boss was the deputy to the son of Ma Eli as NSA boss. You promoted him to NSA boss. We work our tail to give you power. Loyalty is not stupidity. Small leg here. Riding for the $7,000 car. I said in here, chicle and get to chew. I will not campaign for you unless you pay me. I'm not stupid to use me and dump me. For your business, house are lost. Cars are lost. Marriage are lost. Business, everybody saw it, are lost. Bank account are lost. My only reward was a stupid job and a smoking car. Dirty and ratty. You have never even put your hand in your pocket and give me $20 before you, money. For 2.5 years, I was defending you. They will not even allow me to enter your yard. One day I beat my way
when the girls Lone Star team, 3 or 4, Zoga, and all, we walk down on the field, Eugene Nangbe, all of us, 3 or 4. You were the captain. You shook everybody hand. When I presented my hand, you passed me. They jailed me. They suspended me for your business. You fired me for your own business. And I stand by what I said. I'm not stupid. I cannot get me for late here to drive for the $7,000 car. Now why should we camping for? I'm not stupid. That means we're camping for your stepson to wash a car. We're shopping 350 US dollars. That means we're camping. That means we're camping for you to like to eat lobster and he's showing the baby chicken and driving at the $8,000 car. That means we're camping. That means we're camping for Janako to be controller general. Buy a web that PPCC Plus. That means we're camping. That means we're camping for Bessie Yegan to be head of place. Buy a web that one of the big women to NASCAR. That means we're camping. That means we're camping for Emma Castro to be the head of NAFA. My husband is a consultant to Maritime. That means we're camping. Oh, that means we're camping for family officials. Zoga my own friend, but Zoga to youth and sports. $1 to NAFA. So for the head of NOCA, or brother the head of National Investment Commission, I'm gonna continue. That means supposed to campaign. Eugene Nangbe, Patrick Honor, Ledger Hureni, Henry Costa, Mamadi Diakete, they were all on one side. I took them on and I defeated them. You prefer to take Jefferson Koji, baby ma or girlfriend, to come go be registrar here, than to even make me a public relation officer to even eat bread. And you don't appreciate. And I'm saying again, for the record, I will not campaign for you on President George Manneh Weah. I will not campaign for you. Look at this other wizard that you sent before the Senate. That you, George Manneh Weah, you lied to the Senate. The resume you put on your executive mansion was not for him. So let me ask you as president, what did you use to appoint this guy? What did you use? At the back of your palm? You lie on him. You put your own resume there. That's what he said to you. The friend can carry car to the car wash to go wash it. They probably can wash the car with $350 champagne. If they could just drop one drop of the champagne on my tongue, maybe I will feel like a human being. But loyalty is not stupidity. Because me, I'm not Samora sister, or I'm not Emo Glasgow husband that you can get job to, but I mean, Monte radio and microphone to campaign. It's a president same way you say Igbana, me a Cuba, I'm not chunk, I'm not bere.